Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Jocelyn Lovely. So good to see you guys here today. This beautiful reading today, which I am so excited to give, especially because it's New Year. I know I'm late to the game. I'm barely channeling like half an hour before midnight. So this beautiful reading is for, I think we have Gemini today. I had Taurus. Yeah, Gemini. All right. This reading, if you resonate with it, if you feel like this is for you, like, share, and subscribe. Please do me the favor. Without you guys, I'm nothing, right? I need all the support and love that I can get from you guys. I'll take it all. Thank you. All right, so today we are starting with we're going to do the Black Moon astrology cards. Now, keep in mind, right now, I don't want you to be so, let's say, fixed on what the cards say. I want you to be more focused on the illustration, because the illustration to me is a little more I usually go with both, don't get me wrong, but today I'm getting more of an illustration vibe. Okay, so for my Geminis, we're starting with the beautiful Black Moon Lilith, right? It's a very raw, sexual, hidden, obscure, like very, what is that word? Like that, it's that version of you that nobody really knows. It's that version of you that you don't really share or are comfortable with sharing because you're afraid of being judged, right? This is the energy that it takes years for you to really understand this at a deeper level, right? This is all the drives and desires, but it's the secret ones that you don't really want to display out there. Then I get the beautiful balance card. It's almost as if you're getting like justice here. Like justice is about to take place in your life, mostly because you get Black Lilith, right? And then it's opposing, it's Mars, right? Masculine energy. I mean, look at these two figures. If this isn't feminine and masculine energy, I don't know what is, right? And it's almost, with the Mars energy, right? Very masculine, very, it really has to do with like desires and drives and very masculine energy. What am I going to do to take action in order for me to achieve my goals? Even this could even be temperament, right? Because it's red. Look at these two energies. With, of course, you had, like I said, where's it at? You have balance in the middle. Feminine and masculine in the middle. Girl, guy. It's almost as if these last couple of weeks, maybe you've had habits that you've been doing or like carrying out in your life for many years when it came to people and yourself. Maybe compartmentalizing certain aspects of yourself so that people don't see every version of you. Maybe there's parts of you that you don't show everybody, and that's everybody, right? We all have parts that we don't want to show. But it's almost as if it's almost like the justice here this week is that you're bringing both of these aspects together. Maybe you've been working on one aspect over the other over the years. So like maybe you've been focusing on this year, the dark energy, the not dark, but like shadow energy, right? Because I say sometimes it's important to dig into the basement or like dig into the subconscious so that you can understand your shadow, right? You can understand the darkness within you. Because when you understand the darkness within you, that's when you really discover hidden talents. You discover who you are, what you like to do, right? And then this is a part of you, action oriented, action person, very practical, does things according to plan to make sure he gets the results, right? So it's almost as if like the justice is getting both of these and combining them to create one, right? Perfect, stable person. Again, like I was saying, there were ways that maybe you were living out that you couldn't have these two together. It was impossible. Maybe you were focusing on the masculine energy one year and then the next year you were focusing on the feminine energy. It doesn't even matter. Maybe you were working on shadow or and then one season you were working in your heart, opening the heart aspect, right? Heart activation. So the whole point here, the whole point that where I'm getting at, it's almost as if like, because you didn't have both of these aspects together, There wasn't harmony. And this week, I feel like you're going to figure out what it is. Like you're going to figure out something about yourself that it's almost as if like you're going to be able to accept that raw, dark energy of yourself, that Black Moon Lilith energy. You're going to finally accept it and start bringing it to the table. And that's exactly what you need, because I feel like maybe you've been using that masculine energy more than usual. And I feel like maybe that's what you've been missing. Maybe you've been missing your shadow a little bit more. And, I know society isn't really fond of it, but I feel like because you're activating that shadow aspect, it's almost as if like, even though people may not be okay with that, you will be. Right? It's almost as if like we're saying that you can't go around people pleasing because nobody's ever going to be happy with you, right? But all that matters is, are you happy with yourself? Are you happy with the way you carry your daily routines? Are you happy with your boundaries? Are you happy with saying no? Are you okay showing up to work and not being liked by coworkers, by your kids, by your parents, by your friends? Is it okay if you show up to work being the real you? And I mean the darkest parts of you, like the parts that the mean parts, the parts where you don't give a shit, right? Like we all have those areas where we just don't care. Parts where we're just like whatever. Like very assertive parts, right? These are parts where like we kind of tend to hide or just kind of overlook because it's easier to keep the peace, right? Because Libra speaks of peace, balance, right? But it's hard because if you're always like keeping all of the if you're keeping everything inside and not speaking up for yourself or being assertive, then that's a problem. There's an imbalance there. So that's what we're saying. The justice here is balance, right? Being able to express yourself and showing up to work, being stating your truths. Now that doesn't mean you have to go around and bombard everyone. No, but for actually stating your truths and not caring what anyone thinks. Showing up to work and not giving all of your energy to specific people, because by the time you're done with your workday, you've given too much of your energy and now you're exhausted and don't understand why you're getting fed up. It's like you show up to work, you give all of yourself to your clients or the customers or whatever you have, right? For whatever you do for work. You give all of your energy for work, right? You do everything you're supposed to do, plus more. And then not only that, but then you also have to make sure your coworkers are cool with you, right? So then you have to spend some time talking to them or listening to them. And it just gets to the point where you're so exhausted. There's no room for you to be happy. There's no room for you to enjoy your time with yourself. It's almost as if like you need to just step back and show up as you. Maybe not being so nice, right? Can you do that? And this week, you're about to figure out if you can or not. And then what steps you need to take in order for you to be able to have strict boundaries with people. The next one would be, okay, for certain people, right? You may have boundaries and you notice people cross them all the time. Are you okay with letting people know that you will no longer tolerate that? Right? For some of you, it's the opposite. Some of you guys are completely okay with the raw energy. You're okay. You don't care how different you are. You don't care. Like you show up and there's no people pleasing. You could actually be on the other side, right? Where, it's just going to take willingness for you to step back and look at everything from a higher perspective and be okay, right? For some of you guys, I noticed that you're going to... A lot of you guys are really struggling with shadow aspects and stuff like that because I feel specifically that when you deal with people or wherever you end up meeting people that reflect exactly your own shadow, like the person that you are. The good and the bad, right? I feel like you reflect that. So the problem is that maybe it could be too much. When you see something in someone that you don't like, you don't like it. It bugs you, right? But then when you really look at it, you really step back and say, why do these people really bother me? Or why does this person specifically bother me? And you see it for what it is, you realize, damn, that's me. I haven't forgiven myself for being this person. I haven't accepted that I'm this person. And I feel like this week you're going to do that. You're going to cry and heal and accept yourself a little bit more, right? That's for some of you guys. I feel like that's what you've been missing. I feel like a lot of you guys have been missing forgiveness. Really, really asking yourself if you are okay with what you see and within the mirror, which is people reflecting back who you are. Are you okay with being, that person? And if you're not, then you need to be honest with yourself about why you're not, and then what steps you need to take to be okay. It takes time. The transition takes time, but a lot of you guys are being really terrified or really scared because you're starting to see the truth. You're starting to see the rawness. You're starting to see the darkness. You're starting to see things about yourself that you're just And you keep asking yourself, why do I keep attracting people that reflect that version of me? Why do I keep attracting people that I'm like, I can't stand or I'm clashing with? Because you're clashing with yourself. And you can't move on from that lesson until you figure it out and understand that this is really, you're just fighting yourself. I know it sucks. I'm sorry, guys. I'm also getting triggered too, okay? And I know I get very resentful and rebellious, and I get very prideful when I see these things within people that I don't like. And I just want to shut them out. So again, whatever your coping mechanism is, you're going to start realizing that this coping mechanism isn't worth it anymore. It's almost as if like God is going to show the mirror to you and it's going to ask you, are you still okay with your coping mechanism? Are you still okay with shutting them out? Are you still okay with leaving the jobs because you can't deal with them, with these people? Are you okay with putting up with certain people because you like their darkness, even though it's not beneficial to you, right? It's the complete opposite side of the spectrums. Are you okay? It's just these questions like, are you still okay doing the same thing over and over again and getting the same result? Or are you ready to change? And this week or this like next couple of weeks, even last week, it's starting to highlight this within our lives. And the reason this is really becoming so apparent is because you're literally on the precipice of healing that. And so that you can finally move on to a new cycle, which I think you've been carrying this like your whole life. These type of fears and resentments towards your own self, which is either dark shadow Lilith side or masculine energy, or just even things about yourself that you just don't like, right? Plain and simple. So it's crazy, right? Because what comes on next is look at the union between the two. It's almost as if God's gonna show you. It's almost as if like God's gonna show you that, like I said, and then it's gonna ask you, are you willing to keep acting out the way you are, or are you willing to accept these parts of yourselves and be best friends with yourself? And it's almost like you're gonna sit there and you're gonna pray and you're gonna talk to Source, and you're gonna say, you know what, I think I'm ready to approach this from a different perspective. But that will only happen until you sit down and meditate and ask what would be the right next steps for you. Because I think that some of you guys don't know what the answer is. And that's the whole point. It's almost as if like this new perspective is going to come out of yourself. It's going to come into you from something else. It's not something that you can conceive or understand. I don't think you understand the answer. But you're going to get the answer if you really sit down and ask yourself, what am I supposed to do next with this situation that bothers me? Whether that's to heal from it, whether that's to have a different reaction, whatever it is, talk to Source about it, and then you'll get your answers. And then not only that, but you're going to start you're going to start recalling events that happened when you were a kid that made you this specific way. Or like you're going to remember, hey, this happened to me when I was little. Now I see why I'm a people pleaser, for example, right? Now I see why I tend to lie a lot, because this, it was something that I used to do to protect myself. And now it's gotten to the point where like I don't think this is beneficial or it's serving me, right? Like maybe I've become too much of this, or I've overused this quality a little too much, right? Which is off balance now, right? Because the opposite of dishonesty would be integrity, right? And so, again, it's balance. If you have too much integrity, sometimes it's okay to be a little dishonest if you need to be, just to protect yourself, right? It's whichever side of this spectrum you're in. And then this is you finally becoming friends with yourself. Look at this beautiful energy. It's almost as if like this was destined to happen, which is why this is happening this season. It's time. It's just time to let go of this lesson. You've been wanting this for a while. Look at this. It's a routine, but look at both. It's like balance, right? Two different arms, the balance, and then the wisdom you're gonna get from source here. That's gonna help you move forward. Okay. The last card is Chiron. It's healing. It's almost as if like the divine knows you've been manifesting this. You've been wanting this healing for a very long time. This lesson is just like outdated. You're done with these versions of yourself. You don't want to keep doing this anymore. You're tired. I'm getting somebody who's tired, and so you're about to receive number 8. That's a gift from the divine. You're going to heal. Maybe that's what you need, right? It's telling you this is what you need. You need to heal this so that you don't keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again, or attracting the same, people that reflect you. The codependency, the people pleasing, or whatever, or the opposite, the abusive kind, or whatever it is. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just telling you we all attract who we really are. It's just hard to see it. It's hard to acknowledge it. And so that's why, when people actually do the work, this is why it's important to do it, right? Because nobody else could tell you better than yourself who you are. And nobody else can help you change but yourself. And so the people that I read for are very accountable. And that's why I respect you guys. All right, my beautiful Gemini, I think that's all I have for you. I love you guys. Take care.